Hey everyone, welcome back to the Life and Wonder channel. I want to apologize for having not posted in about a month. I would say, I think my last post was Christmas. I think I posted it on Christmas Day. Um, we're going to use this video to maybe talk about why you haven't heard from me. I know I only have maybe 5 videos posted at this point, so to take time off, I guess as a new not a subscriber, as a new content creator, it's almost typical, especially if you're like still figuring out what direction you're trying to go in as a content creator, as someone that's showing up on YouTube. And then you're looking at, kind of some of the people who've expired you. And then you're also watching as a viewer and you're looking at the channels that may have inspired you to start your own channel and you're seeing their progression. And sometimes that can be enough to um, discourage you from moving forward. So some of that is what I was experiencing. But I think it's important to be able to, like, as a very, very new subscriber, pinpoint what it is that um, creates that, like, what is it that makes me want to stop? And I'm trying to, like, pinpoint exactly the moment where I think like internally, subconsciously, um, I was I was stopping, and it was something very small, but I discovered that someone else was watching my channel that I actually knew and engaging with it, and I wasn't aware that they were that person, and I think for whatever reason it kind of put a monkey wrench in my steady progression. But the thing is, I have to kind of get over that because that was someone I actually do know. And they weren't doing anything nefarious. They were strongly supporting me. They will continue to support me. And they don't even know that that played a factor in it. But I think that was the point, and that I discovered that around the time that I posted my last video. So, why I'm bringing this up is I think it's important to, when you find yourself going through the ebbs and flows of, you know, coming up with content, editing it, getting it out there. I see why it's sort of important to remember why you're doing it, right? Like, I have this dedicated little thought dump. I also have my notepad feature on my iPhone and MacBook, where I'm constantly dumping ideas or thinking through scripts, and just thinking of ways that I want to continue to engage with my very small audience to hopefully attract more people. And I also was viewing one of my, another channel that I'm very much inspired by, and I'm seeing the progression of her channel, and I'm just, I'm sitting there watching, neglecting my own channel, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should just make a video around why I feel stuck right now. And at least this is completely like off the cuff. I haven't scripted this. I start work in about an hour to start my shift. And I just was like, you know what, let me just get on here and talk this out. So I apologize if some of what I'm saying does not make any sense or none of it makes sense. But this is really just me kind of taking the opportunity to not necessarily capitalize, but just make, um, create, take advantage of the fact that this is a very real moment. This is a very real, vulnerable moment where I've literally ghosted my viewers for about a month, um, and I just want to talk about it and why. And I think if we all, and if any of you are thinking about starting your channel or you currently have your channel and you're in that mode where, like, you kind of neglected and you haven't been consistent and you're back to being a viewer, if you can pinpoint what made the switch and maybe create a video around that very moment, that might be enough to get you started again. And as I'm talking this out, I'm feeling like I'm back to where I was when I started my first video. Um, because there's a part of me, it's like I said, I have all this content, I have all this stuff that I want to talk about, ideas that I can flush out that could probably take me through the end of the year. And it was just like a combination of just realizing, that person was viewing me and engaging, and then, um, seeing other channels kind of like literally seeing them progress in real time, which I'm so proud of because, they deserve it. They've worked hard. And it's like, I could be there. And, if what's the harm in me just pushing myself a little bit harder and getting through it? Because at the end of the day, if um, let's say the channel does take off, I'm going to have all types of eyeballs on me, and it's going to feel way worse. And their comments are going to feel way worse than someone that actually knows me, that is literally just supporting me and is supporting my journey. So it's like, I got to nip this in the bud now, because not saying it's better, but we all have a unique life experience that I think in some cases are worth sharing with others, because some of us may have experiences that overlap and may not know how to like navigate those challenges. And sometimes they're not challenges. Sometimes it's just, just a better way of viewing life, a better way of moving forward. And I'm hoping that in exercising my voice becomes stronger, but also people can walk away feeling like they've gotten something from watching this video, or any of my videos. So I'm actually happy that I did this. And I know it's only like 7 minutes and some change. And I don't know, I feel like there's no real rules to this content creation stuff. I mean, outside of YouTube's rules that can get you banned. But I don't know, I'm still very much figuring this out. And I'm really happy that I've kind of dusted the cobwebs from this last month and sat here and have been able to record this. And even though it's not, like I said, it's not scripted. And to be honest, when I say scripted, it's at least having like bullet pointed thoughts on paper or somewhere that I can like reference, so I know that I'm like speaking coherently and it makes sense and the lines connect. That's not happening here. I woke up this morning and I was like, you know what? I haven't truly given this a shot. I got like my 4 or 5 videos out there, and like there's so much more. There's so much more that I know I'm capable of. There's so many doors that could potentially open for me doing this that I'm not even aware of right now. There's so many people that I can be connected with. There's so many people I can help uplift in some way, shape, or form. Why am I singling myself out why am I self-selecting myself out to not help someone? So I'm getting back to it. I do need to maybe figure out a better cadence for how I record, edit, post, all that stuff. But I'm jumping in. I'm jumping back in. It's the start of the year, and I think that also played a part. Like my start of the year was not starting with a bang. And actually, I beat myself up about that. I literally started the year kind of really demotivated, although I have like plans and goals for the year, but I didn't start like as soon as I hit the ground running. Like I didn't start like that. I very much slow eased into this year, and we're still, like I said, in the month of January. So I probably shouldn't be so hard on myself, right? Like, is anyone else feeling like that? Like, are you feeling like you didn't start the year off with the bang? Maybe you didn't immediately jump into the gym on January 1st or whenever your gym was open. I mean, it's going to be super crowded anyways, so it probably is best to just wait till like February or March when like all the people that started kind of lose their steam, because that's usually what happens. So don't feel bad about that. But I'm giving myself grace, and I'm giving myself permission to begin again and be okay with falling, but then getting back up. And you should too. Um, I feel really good right now. I haven't even had coffee. I have my tea here. I'll probably make a cup of coffee a little bit later. Um, oh man, this was a stressful last few days. And maybe I'll talk about it. It's around the property management stuff that I help my partner with. Um, maybe I'll start a new playlist on like kind of like property management stuff as it comes up, or not sure. I'll think about it. But anyways, I hope you guys have like a super wonderful day. It is Wednesday, January 28th, I believe. Um, we just had a crazy, crazy storm here in uh, New England, and got another one coming up this weekend. So brace yourselves. I'm gonna do another grocery shop. Why do we do that? Why do we go crazy with the growth? I feel like it's a conspiracy. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but sometimes when the lines, when the dots connect, when we have these. First of all, the weather is never reliable, especially when it comes to winter. And I'm wondering if there is a connection between the media and how they sensationalize certain storms to scare us, and grocery chains. And like, let's say they want to make X amount of dollars before the quarter ends and they want to capitalize on this storm. They tap the media and, say sensationalize the storm. And then everyone does what they naturally do, go for the bread and the milk and everything else that they want. And then grocery store revenue goes up. Everyone that gains from it makes an extra buck or so. And I don't know, but this storm was bad. This storm was really bad. This is actually really bad, and it tested a lot of people, contractors, like snowplow companies and all that, because, like I said, terrible, terrible experience this past weekend. Maybe I'll talk about it. Maybe I won't. I don't know. But it's like machines, snowblowers breaking down, and like it wasn't like the snow was super heavy. There was no rain, for anyone that experienced it, but it was just a lot, like 12 to 18 inches. And, you know, contractors no showing when you're trying to find replacements. And people on, like Facebook in different neighborhoods saying, why aren't the streets plowed? The sidewalks aren't plowed. People are walking in the streets. And yeah, people are walking in the streets with the cars because everyone's just inundated. So I don't know. It was just a lot. But I definitely did a digression. But anyways, so thank you so much for thank you so much for watching me. A part of me is trying to get to like 15, 20 minutes, but I'm only at like 13 minutes right now based on this recording. And that's going to go down once I edit a little bit. But thank you for sticking around. Thank you for watching. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. I will see you next week.